So where were you born and raised?
What did I do?
Where were you born and raised?
I sure was.
Where?
In Selma. In Selma. I always make a joke a lot of people. I get laughs. My dad was on the railroad. He was a railroad man. And Mom was a stay-home mom with 8 children in the family. And I'm the last one to live. I was first class, but I made chief. I went in September 23rd, 1940. You were just born then. I was 18, just a little over 18. And I told it in a couple of meetings I went to here in Raleigh since all this has happened, that I was walking down the street in Selma that morning. I was in the 12th grade. Of course, 11th grades then, you know. I always say 12th because it's just 11th grades at the time I was going. And they said we didn't get enough of education, so they put another grade in there. That's when the deals, you know. No, but anyway, I was walking one morning going to school, and I saw this sailor, and I saw that white uniform, and he was a nice looking guy. And I walked up to him and I said, "Where are you in? You in the Navy?" And I thought you were going to say, "Well, what do you think I'm wearing?" But I said, "I see you're in the Navy." He said, "Yeah," but he was from Portsmouth, and he's going back to his ship. He was on leave, you know. And in other words, you're leaving the ship, going home on leave. But anyway, he just sat there and riddled off things about 10 minutes, you know, because I couldn't stay long because I was running late to go to school. But he says, if you ever want to join get out and see the world, join the Navy, you'll see it. And I really did. I saw a whole lot of it because most of mine was over in Europe. Asia, and China and Japan and all those. So I've been even to a Christmas Island. That's where we refueled the ship I was on. But anyway, of course, I've been over to Europe and all that since I was out there. But anyway, I told that guy, I said, he said, "Go ahead, go up into Norfolk, Virginia." Said, "They'll take you in right now." I said, "Yeah, let me tell you something." But I was tickled to death. I liked the idea of the Navy. I don't know why, but I did. When I got home that night, I said, "Mom, I saw this soldier or sailor up on the street up there," and I was talking with him. And she said, "Well, where was he going?" I told her he was going back to Portsmouth, Virginia, to his ship, you know. It was overhauled. He was on leave. And I says, "I think I'll join." She said, "Well, I wouldn't want you to join now. Finish your schooling, and then you can join." So I couldn't wait till school was over.
So your family was supportive of you joining?
Oh, yes, yeah. They didn't come out and say, "I don't believe I'd do it." Because the Navy is all right. It all depends on what you make of it. And in that Navy, in that service, anything in the Army, you got some of all kinds of guys that live different lives, you know. The ship I was on was a Vega. You saw the picture a while ago, I believe you did.
Yes, I did.
And but anyway, we pulled into Pearl Harbor on Saturday morning. That it was bombed on Sunday morning. And when we pulled in at Pier 31, now if you see me scratch my head a while ago, that's why I'm thinking about what am I going to say next. I'm just kidding. But anyway, we all went ashore. Of course, I had Liberty. Liberty is, you know, when they say you can't stay here, you can go over if you want to. I've heard you, I guess she told me better tell somebody what Liberty is. Liberty is in North Carolina also. It's a town in North Carolina, Liberty, North Carolina. But anyway, when we go over on Liberty, each section has to have keep the ship going because it's run 24 hours a day, you know. So I had Liberty that afternoon. I went aboard that Diamond Head, and I see all them hula girls, and I even got me doing that same thing, you know. I got to a place I could hardly stand myself. All them good-looking women. But you know, I enjoyed it. But anyway, next morning it was bombed at quarter to 8, and and I was writing a letter. You know, something I was telling one time. It's in the paper one time. But I was writing a letter to Mother and Dad, and I was telling them all about what happened, you know, and what was going on. And by that time, here comes 1,000 planes, and they claimed there's over 3,000 planes on all 3 aircraft carriers. Now that's what I'm getting from the papers and everything else, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But we had at least 1,000 at one time over Pearl Harbor, and of course we got one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a cussing man, but I cussed him everything I could think of. And I'm not like the guy that had the gun. He said one guy, they say he grabbed his regular rifle and shot up toward the plane, and they think that he got him. And we don't never know that either.
Could you tell me what your regular day would have been like in the Navy? Like what you would have done?
Well, you mean at the time before I began to make rank?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like your regular day.
Well, to tell you, to start off with, I was just what they call a dummy. We didn't call them dummies, but I did at the time. If a ship it needs painting, we go out with hammers and chippers and chip the paint off the ship and paint it. Well, that's just a guy up here. It's like, you know, work anywhere out here with a job. So that's what our job was, keeping the ship clean. Oh, this is clean as back of my hand. Let's see, the back of my hand, really. But it was pretty clean, but we done a lot of chip and paint. The saying in the Navy, you paint today and chip tomorrow and paint the next day, off and on, right, regular all the time. Of course, the ships always looked nice. They really did.
What was your scariest moment throughout the entire war? Like, what was the scariest?
Scariest time? Well, I think the scariest time, really, and when I was sitting to write in the letter, and they knew that they were coming, and I didn't know it, and the ships, I bet the captain knew it. Said they probably called it, all the captains of all the ships probably knew it. But when they come over and started dropping bombs, the loudspeaker come out. This is not a drill. This is the real thing. And I won't forget it as long as I live. I got to slow down a minute. I do get emotional because I went through something. I really did. But anyway, I tell you, I think if nobody don't once in a while, there's something wrong with them. Tell you the truth about it. Well, sometime I wonder that the bomb they dropped, they blew it from here to there. But they had to do something because Japan was going to try to take us over. At that time, they couldn't have done it. But we got tired of losing 100,000 men at a time. And they had that bomb. And they say, well, they started this stuff, and we're going to end it. And that's the way I feel. I really do. And I think that most people in this country felt the same way. I really do. No, because I kind of wanted to. Just like I said a while ago, when I saw that Navy veteran had a white uniform, and he looked sharp as a tack. A good-looking guy. And that hat sitting on the back of his head like mine up yonder. But when I stopped and asked him about the Navy, it filled me full and more than I never thought about it, you know. And I enjoyed it. I've done a lot of traveling, and I saw the world. I really did. I wish I could see more. I really do. No, I looked forward to it. I really did, but because I was getting out. But once I got out, I kind of wished I'd have stayed, and because I met a lot of good folks in the Navy, and I traveled a lot, and I saw a part of the world that a lot of people don't see if they don't do that, you know. Unless they come out already out to start with, they got plenty of money and go where they want to go. I didn't have plenty, but I had $1.50. I want to spend it somewhere. Well, the wars are necessary. if you don't, you wouldn't live like you're living today. And that's the truth.